Comey also said that the additional concern shared by members of his management team was that if the briefing became, quote, a source of controversy, it would be important to have a clear contemporaneous record because Trump might, quote, misrepresent what happened in the encounter, unquote. Why would they think that? Because they hated him. He's the newly elected president, and they go in thinking we're going to create a record. Because we predict there's going to be a matter of controversy? No, 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 no. They wanted to have a record to try to destroy him when push came to shove. McCabe told the OIG that, in his view, it made sense for Comey to, quote, capture his contemporaneous recollection because there were, quote, millions of ways that the FBI could get follow-up questions or criticism, and Comey wanted to recollect exactly from his perspective how it had taken place. Comey told the IG he began writing Memo 1, this is the first improper memo, immediately following his meeting with Trump on January 6, 2017. Comey said he was meeting up in Trump Tower, just envision New York, and Trump Tower. So he comes down from the lobby, he goes into an FBI car. Comey said he had a secure FBI laptop waiting for him in his FBI vehicle, and that when he got into the vehicle, he was handed the laptop and began typing Memo 1 as the vehicle moved. He said he continued working on Memo 1 until he arrived at the FBI's New York field office, where Comey gave a quick download of his conversation with President-elect Trump to Ribicki, McCabe, Baker, and supervisors. There's you got your Obama OIG keeping Page and Strzok out of it, of the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigative team via secure video teleconference. This was a setup. He goes in there, confronts Trump with this memo, with this fraud dossier. Trump says it's garbage. Comey runs downstairs, types his memo, and runs back to the FBI and has a video conference. Talk about dishonest dealings with the President of the United States, or the President-elect. And of course, this colored all of his memos with President Trump, memos detailing President Trump's conversations. He was creating these contemporaneous records, supposedly, and I don't believe that necessarily, detailing the president's conversations, and I don't believe he fairly detailed them, creating a secret file on the president. They don't even, the idea that the FBI director would result to such mendacity is just, it's inconceivable. The president was so right to fire Comey, but as this material comes out, he was righter than he even knew. He was righter than he even knew. And if you could give the president a medal for doing something, he should get a medal for firing Comey. And so you've got this coup cabal detailed, the operations, and the Justice Department doesn't want to do anything about it. No prosecution based on this dishonesty. And so I talked to you about the FBI report we received, the 302s, or the reports about the FBI having to go to Comey's house and get these memos. And that report, he didn't tell them, because the report shows what he told them, that he had leaked them to his lawyers, or quote his friend. The friend who leaked it, the one friend he leaked one of the memos to, he's after the fact decided it was his quote lawyer. You can't leak information, classified or otherwise, that you're not entitled to without permission of the FBI. And if it's classified, you probably can't get permission at all. But he didn't tell them that. And the report details, so they take the records, and I'm really summarizing, because there are other crimes he committed in terms of not withholding material information from FBI investigators. So the day after that meeting, he testifies to Congress. The senior leadership of the FBI is watching this. Baker and Strzok are watching this, and he says, I gave this to my friend. And they immediately know who the friend is because evidently everyone knows who Comey's designated leaker is. And the FBI general counsel recounts to the IG, he says, I recall literally running down the hallway with Peter Strzok to call this guy, Richmond, saying, and they essentially say, you got classified information on your system, we got to go get it. Now, I tell you what, if you were in this situation where the FBI met with you and said, you gave us all the documents, and you say, yeah, but you didn't tell them you shared those documents, some of which were classified, all of which you couldn't properly share with outsiders, and they find out about it the day after, you know what would have happened to you? You would have been arrested. They would have gone to your house and arrested you, obtained a search warrant for your premises and everything you owned to make sure that you had turned over everything and found out what you really did. But he was protected back in 2017. He was protected in 2017 and outrageously protected by the Justice Department now. I don't know what Attorney General Barr is thinking in not prosecuting this case. They say it was not even a close call. What surprised me about this report is that there are no gray areas. Comey committed so many crimes it's hard to keep track of. And if they can't make a case on Comey stealing and leaking the president's FBI files, just cut through all the chaff, and that's what it is. Chaff. The FBI director stole and leaked the president's FBI files to, quote, advance his personal agenda, according to the OIG. And they can't make a criminal case out of that?